Hi there, welcome to my views and news. Four preconditions by four Fano groups in a joint statement for any talks with the Ethiopian government. Just few days ago, we heard a call for dialogue from the US. Arvind Masinga, US ambassador to Ethiopia, delivered a speech. Then came response from Skandar Naga, who issued an audio message in response to Arvind Masinga's call for dialogue. We're waiting for Fano's joint response to the call for dialogue. Now, a statement, four preconditions are mentioned. How doable are these preconditions? We will analyze the preconditions laid out by Fano groups. Arvind Masinga, the US ambassador to Ethiopia, spoke a few days ago in Addis Ababa, Ethiopian capital, and he said that there is no end to violence if fighting goes on. Conflicts can only be resolved, disputes can only be solved through dialogue. He said Fano should not reject dialogue, it should come to the table. He asked Ola to resume dialogue. Government and Ola met twice last year. And then he addressed TPLF too, that Tigray fighters should also not use force to decide the issue of disputed territories. Then he criticized Ethiopian federal government. He said that the federal government should stop imprisoning its critics. Arvind Masinga's speech was not well received in Addis Ababa. Ethiopian Foreign Ministry called him ill-informed and called his speech a violation of diplomatic decorum. Ola welcomed the statement from Arvind Masinga. TPLF remained silent. Federal government, as I said, criticized US Ambassador. Jawar appreciated US Ambassador. Fano groups showed different response by different groups were shown. Skandar Naga issued an audio message 2 days ago, and he said that yes, talks can be held. The negotiations are part of such movements which Fano has launched. But he said that that Fano groups, Amhara people, should establish a representative organization first, which can represent them in talks, and then talks can be held. I said back then, if you remember, I said that the announcement by Skandar was his personal opinion. It wasn't opinion of all Fano groups. So we're waiting for a joint statement by Fano groups, which has come now. We cannot say that all Fano groups are signatories to this statement. It has been issued by pro-Fano elements, but still no rejection by main groups. That is why I think we should see it as a representative statement by Fano groups. Groups from Gujam, Wollo, Shoa, Gondar reportedly agreed on the issuing of the statement. So which four preconditions are mentioned for start of talks with the government? With the government or with third parties? First precondition, unconditional, complete withdrawal of government forces from the Amhara region. We know that since last year, tens of thousands of soldiers have been deployed to the Amhara region to conduct military operation against Fano fighters. Fano groups want complete, not phased, complete withdrawal without precondition, without calling for disarmament of Fano, etc. No. Unconditional withdrawal, immediate, full of all ENDF, federal forces, federal position. Obviously not doable. A government will not agree to this first precondition. The day ENDF leaves the Amhara region, the region will collapse. It will come largely under Fano control. Regional forces are not in a position to stop Fano. They'll collapse, I believe. So first precondition, very hard to be accepted by the government. Second precondition, all prisoners must be released. All means those arrested in connection with support for Fano, etc. No mention of the ethnicity of prisoners, Amhara, Oromo, etc. But all prisoners, especially political prisoners, must be released before the start of dialogue. This is doable, I think. People can be released. Thousands arrested in Amhara region, including some high-profile people like like the Member of Parliament, Christian Tudale, Asad Tishagar, Johannes Briale, others. Second condition, doable, I would say. Third condition, Fano groups want the government to lift the siege, humanitarian siege, it is imposed on Amhara people, Amhara region. Again, doable. I think we cannot say that Amhara region is under siege. Tigray was under siege. It was a full siege. Tigray suffered, Tigray people suffered. And one of the reasons why Tigray came to the table to talk and make concessions because it was suffering under siege. Amhara not under siege. They just captured Kwara a few days ago. The Fano fighters, they have access to Sudan. Maybe they have access to other parts of Ethiopia. We cannot say Amhara under siege, but they want the siege to be lifted. Third condition. Fourth precondition, the hardest one, showing how sincere Fano is, how interested Fano is in start dialogue with the government. Fourth precondition, removal of the government. So Fano group say that the government of Prime Minister Abiy must be removed before the start of talks. And then talks can start. Now, all these preconditions mean, especially the last one and the first one, mean that Fano groups don't want to talk to PM Abiy's government. At the same time, the statement says that Fano groups are ready to cooperate with international community, with humanitarian organizations for delivery of aid to the people of Amhara. They are ready to provide support to humanitarian organizations for their work in the Amhara region. But government must be removed, government of PM Abiy, before the start of any dialogue. Now, will the government accept these four preconditions? Obviously, government will not accept. If government is to be removed, then who will Fano talk to? Does Fano want to talk to itself? Does it want to talk to Washington? I mean, the other party is being removed. And no precondition mentioned by Fano like talks in a third country mediated by some neutral observers. Maybe these preconditions will come once Fano groups really decide to talk. So far, they are laying out some very tough, undoable preconditions so that dialogue won't be held. Once they decide that the talks should be held, then you'll see them add preconditions like venue, where, like Ola said, that talk should be held it should be held abroad, mediated by third party. And US Westerners intervened. They provided security to Gilmaro, Gimichua Boy. They were taken to Tanzania for talks. Why did Ola lay out these preconditions? Ola wanted to talk. Fano don't want to talk. Once they decide to talk, I think they'll change their preconditions. They would like to talk in some country abroad. They would like foreigners to be mediators. But now, so far, they are focused on the removal of the. What does it indicate? Does it mean that Fano groups have a real chance of removing the government, or do they lack the proper understanding of the situation in the country and they just think that they can remove the government? Well, Fano groups are definitely bigger, stronger, more support from abroad, more financial support if we compare today and last year. And maybe such armed resistance movement is beneficial for people in Amhara, abroad too. People in top positions in Fano. People staying abroad too. Maybe it's beneficial for them. Some are raising money in the name of Fano. Some have been involved in misappropriation of funds. Question is, if Fano groups are unable to remove the Prime Minister of Ethiopia's government, will they fight forever? I mean, will there ever be change of mind on the part of Fano? Let's see. Thank you for watching.